We used to like done with the snow.
I always like to think so, but we get snow 8% of the time in April, so.
We'll call the meeting to order. Nate? Present. Mike?
Present.
Rick? Here. John?
Here.
Kevin?
Here.
Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public input, this is time and place for discussion. This is time and place for discussion items not already on the agenda with a time limit of 3 minutes each.
Brandon called me and asked me to come in, which was good because I was already planning to come this week anyway, so that worked out good. But Brandon wanted me to talk about was my request with the grant.
Okay.
It's just a new awning for my building that's at 141 East Main. It was red, it's been spray painted black for the present, but I just want to replace it with a new black awning. It's going to be vinyl, so it'll look just about basically the same, only nicer.
And I think you're later on the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I mean, that's fine.
Okay.
That way you won't have to go at that time.
Okay.
We'll come to it.
So the other thing is that I just wanted to come in and have us introduce ourselves. We're named Gary Scott. We live in Mount Vernon. We've owned the building at 141 for a while. The escape room was there. We closed that in June, but now what we're going to be opening up is as Start, and I just have some things you can look at here. It's a craft thrift store, and it's also going to be offering art and craft opportunities for everybody from ages 2 on up. So I'm going to be having my grand opening at the end of March with, information available then, and I will also have software so people can book online. But my main goal is to have people come in and help Lisbon be a place where people can come in and do things in the evening. And I really want to be here to support Lisbon as a destination to come and do things. And my building's small right now. We'll see how it takes off. Long term, I may be looking for some more room, but right now it's just in the building. So that's what. And this is my husband Gary, and he can talk about his part.
So in the back corner, we have a fix-it shop. We call it a fix-it cafe because we have some free coffee in front. And it's sort of word of mouth now, but I'm a retired electrical engineer, so and I do a lot of fixing and electrical things that I need to repair over the years. So people bring in anything from furniture that's not working to some home kitchen appliances, battery powered tools, some different light fixtures and things. And I try to help work with them to learn how to fix it themselves if they can, and what they can't do, I fill in with tools and parts. And I don't charge. My time is volunteer time, and they reimburse us for a little bit for keeping the building. That's great. That's kind of how we're working right now. So I enjoy doing it. Nina didn't mention our hours. It's on the sheet. We're there Tuesday.
Our present hours.
The present hours: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 to 7, and Saturdays mornings 10 until noon. So if you have any questions, we'll be here for the preparation.
We'll make
We can do that later.
We'll talk about it here in a little bit. So, thank you guys very much. Joe, Linn County Solid Waste Agency.
Mr. Mayor, council members, good to see you. Thanks for having me tonight. I'm Joe Horaney, the Deputy Director of the Cedar Rapids Linn County Solid Waste Agency. Here to give our update on services programs and have an update on our capacity that we're facing out there at County Home Road as well. So on the first page of the slide here, you'll see talking about our 2 locations. So if you ever see us talking about Site 2, that's the landfill and recycling location north of Marion. Site 1 is Mount Trashmore, the closed landfill is on the recreation area, and Site 3 is our compost facility that's adjacent to Mount Trashmore down by Czech Village. We do have our 9-member board of directors. We have 6 officials from the city of Cedar Rapids, 2 Linn County supervisors, including Supervisor Myscheid, and then 1 appointee from the city of Marion. So I'll jump right in first to the tipping fees for FY26 coming up here on July 1st. The landfill tipping fee is going to go up $2. Currently it's $48. It's going to be going up to $50. I know I said this last year. I'm a broken record where I'm coming here. It's going up a little bit each year. But that's going to be, as we continue to run out of space, it's going to go up a little bit. I'll talk about that a little bit more when I get to the capacity. Special waste, this is more industry specific. It's going up to $70 per ton. Bulky waste is going up to $80 per ton, and that's things like telephone poles, railroad ties, things that we get in big bulky loads that are hard to handle with a compactor and dozer. Those will be $80 per ton. And then commercial hazardous materials processing. This is from businesses that we call VSQGs, very small quantity generators that generate hazardous materials. They're going to see a 5% increase across the board. For residents, it's still no charge to bring in hazardous materials. Wood waste and yard waste, that's going up $2 per ton to $32 down at the compost location by Czech Village. Commercial finished compost, that's going to be the same price, $32 per ton. That's what we sell to landscapers. We still will give compost away free to residents. And then commercial recycling, this is the one that's seen the biggest increase. It's going to go up to $115 per ton. That's for when the city of Marion drops off to us, and then Red Sanitation when they drop off, when it gets taken to Republic Services. They're raising that rate. And the big reason for that is the contamination that we're seeing with that. It's still a really big issue. People do, they're putting in their paper, they're putting in their plastic and cardboard, but they're also putting in a lot of plastic bags, a lot of styrofoam, films, and plastic. Just the plastics that can't be recycled, they're the biggest issues. That's part of the reason we're seeing that increase. Moving on now to landfill capacity. You can see that right there. So the green area, that spaces 1 through 5A, that's where we're currently landfilling. That's filling up. And so when we're going to start work here, the planning on phase 5B, that is the last section of landfill that we can use out of County Home Road. You see that black line there? That's our settlement agreement with the city of Marion, where it says we have to have an 1,800-foot setback. If you look towards the bottom of the screen there, that shows what the DNR and EPA require for a setback, which is 50 feet. So we can't use that area per our settlement agreement with the city of Marion. So right now, if garbage continues to come in at the same rate that we get it, we're going to be full. Right now, it looks like February 2037. They come in and do an airspace capacity study each year, so it kind of fluctuates. Last year, it was looking more like 2036. We got some space back, so that'll change a little bit, but it's going to be in that 2036 to 2038 range. We're going to be full, and that's not thinking if we have another derecho 2.0, another flood of 2008 that takes up the airspace. So we're going to start working on phase 5B, and get construction will happen on that in 2027. So once the landfill is full, Site 2 is going to operate as a transfer station. So garbage is still going to come out there. It's just going to get sent to someplace else that has the space to handle it. And our board's made that decision. I've been here in the past couple of years talking about, we looked at the different technologies, and there are different things that you can do besides landfilling and transfer. They're just super expensive. Like I've talked about this before, where a state-of-the-art incinerator was going to cost $1 billion. And we generate anywhere from 180,000 tons to 200,000 tons of garbage each year, which is quite a bit. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot. You need a lot more than that to make an incinerator or some of these different technologies work. So we're going to do transfer, so that's what will happen when the landfill closes. However, that entire site will have to close on June 30th, 2044. That's per our agreement with the city of Marion as well. So in the meantime, we'll be looking at other locations. So if you guys would like to host a transfer station, let us know. We'd be interested in having one, to serve the needs of the community here. So there's some opportunity there. But so that, we're working as hard as we can to divert as much garbage as we can to keep the landfill open. That'll take us into the next slide for the services that are available to folks. So recycling services, we're still taking paper, plastic, glass. Residents can drop that off for no charge. Appliances are going to stay the same, $10 per unit to drop those off on a county home road. No charge for scrap metal. Tires are staying the same. It's $4 per tire, $5 if it's on the rim. Batteries and medical sharps are still no charge. And in the past, we for a long time tried to tell folks, hey, if you have an alkaline battery, go ahead, throw it away. Everything else, bring it out to us. Now we're just telling everyone, just bring them all to us. We'll separate them out there. They're making these those lithium-ion batteries. Now they look like alkaline batteries. It's really confusing. And we have anywhere from 2 to 3 fires a week in the landfill because of those lithium-ion batteries that get in there. Most of this stuff from like computer batteries and kids' toys and things like that. But once those dozers run them over and they crack them open, they ignite. And we have a person whose whole job is to look for that, so it never get out of control. But So we're just telling folks, if it's a battery, bring it to us, we'll take it, no charge.
Do you guys do any disposal days, like special events of coming to the town to do batteries or sharps?
We don't, we try to get away from the, like, we used to do that with hazardous materials.
Yeah.
But since we're open 6 days a week, we don't want people, because people just would wait for those days. We'd rather come out to us when you have a day off or something like that, so to make it
Because
easier.
we have a drug drop off here, but we have a ton of people asking us to drop sharps. So,
Gotcha.
and we don't accept those.
Right. Yeah, there's not too many places left that take the sharps, but send them to us, please.
Okay.
And then, let's see, some of the other recycling services. TVs and monitors are staying the same, 15 per unit, and then all other electronics, no charge. And household hazardous materials, again, for as long as you're a Linn County resident, it's coming from your home and out of business. You can drop that off whenever we're open, Monday through Friday, 7 to 4, and then by appointment on Saturday. And some of the services that we've added the last couple of years that have really taken off, we're now taking books, hardcover and softcover books. We have a container now for CDs, VHS, cassette tapes, and DVDs. You would not believe the amount of cassette tapes and VHS tapes that are still out there. People are bringing those in to recycle. We do take the CD cases, the jewel boxes as well. You can leave those with them. And then textiles recycling, we're partnering with St. Vincent de Paul out of Cedar Rapids. So they take all the clothing that we get, and they pull out what they can use, give to people who need it, and what they can't sell in their stores or give away. They bundle it up and then take it to a textile or recycler that's up out of the Chicago area. So that's keeping a lot of material out of the landfill. And one new program that we've added since the last time I was here is mattress recycling. We were doing a pilot program with Willis Dady in Cedar Rapids. They provide jobs to homeless people. So it actually took off and went really well. So now this is a full-time program. We're the only landfill in Iowa that has this mattress recycling program. So if you bring a mattress out to the landfill, it's going to cost you $20 per mattress. They're the one of the most difficult things in the landfill. Even with the dozer that weighs tens of thousands of pounds, it goes over top of it. The mattress just comes right back up. And like when weather comes out, they bring like 40 or 50 at a time. It's a mess. So preferably, we started working with Willis Dady. If you take it there, it only costs $10 to drop it off, and we're subsidizing it. We're paying the other end so they can help pay their employees. And then they're taking it apart. You can see they've got their bales going here. They're pulling out the foam. They pull out the metal. They've got end markets for all the different things, the covers. So it's going great. It's saving us space. It's creating jobs for them. I think they have a staff of 6 going at it, just taking everything apart. And then again, like I said, it's the only mattress recycling operation in the state, and everyone's kind of looking to see how it goes because I think more people would like to try to do something similar because mattresses are heading for every landfill. So that's been a great program. And another thing that we're doing, partnerships and diversion. We have our ongoing education efforts, letting people make sure they know about recycling and diversion. We've also partnered with Central Furniture Rescue. They're a group that tries to help people who are homeless, who are getting into homes for the first time, furnishing those homes, just the basics of like a couch, a bed, things like that, tables, chairs. So we don't promote it super heavily because it's kind of confusing. So people, when they come to the landfill, if they're in a pickup load, they pay their $22 to bring in their garbage. They're throwing everything away. Our staff who's over there at our residential area, they look at the loads, and there's something that looks usable. Like let's say they have a bunch of garbage, but they have one good chair. They'll go, hey, can we grab that chair? And we have a couple containers that Central Furniture Rescue has staged with us. We'll pull that aside and put it in there. So we don't want folks to think that they can come out here and just get rid of stuff for free. It's like we're pulling the stuff that maybe it's garbage to them, but it could be usable for someone who's never had a home before and needs a chair or a table, things like that. So we've been diverting, tens and tens of tons each month from that. So every little bit adds up because this is the big bulky stuff that takes up a lot of room in the landfill. So that's been a good program too. Moving down to the compost location, Mount Trashmore will open back up this spring when the weather permits. So we always encourage folks to get out there, take in the view, get a good walk in. And then, like I said, the compost operation, we ran out of compost last year, but we're going to be screening here pretty soon. So when spring rolls around for your lawns and gardens, as much as you want, while there is a supply, residents can come get it. If the city has a project that you need, either compost or wood chips, let us know. We'll try to work with you if we have it to provide it for you. And so lastly, I just want to wrap up by saying, I keep talking about our future because we're planning for that, but in the meantime, we're here, we're serving Lisbon, all of Linn County. Want to make sure people know about our programs. Letting people know as we get closer what's going on, as we get closer to capacity, what it's going to mean financially for everybody who comes in and uses us. And if any groups that you would ever want us to come speak to, if you guys are part of like a Rotary or Lions Club that you can get this information out to, please reach out to me and I'll love to go out and do that. So it's one of those things that I've come to realize about garbage is people think about garbage once a week when they have to put out their cans. And they always think about what's going to happen 15 years down the road. So we want folks to be aware of it's going to affect all of us and it's going to cost a lot more to get rid of garbage once the landfill's gone. Any questions?
Questions for Joe?
Thank you, Larry.
All right, appreciate it. Good to see you. Thank you.
Discussion and possible action in reference to approval of downtown reinvestment. All right, we've talked to the Scotts already. Let's talk to the Crawl.
All right, so I'm Casey Kroll. We own 2 buildings downtown. I'll start with 110 East Main, which is the one that we most recently purchased. It's the one with the purple facade, and it's not super pretty. We will eventually get to that, but first we're going to start by working on the back of the building. We need to remove the siding and do some repairs on the side of the building, and then also the very back of the building is just covered with treated plywood, so we want to put some actual siding on there. We're going to remove the residential siding that is on the side of the building and give it more of like a commercial feel. And then the electrical boxes that are back there are also they also need to be replaced. They're interior grade electrical boxes that have been outside for 25 years, so they need to be replaced. And then additionally, we've decided to dig in the electrical underground. There's a lot of wires behind that, like in the alley. They get knocked down, trucks knock them down, the weather knocks them down, and then we don't have power, we don't have, just causes an issue. Additionally, we are hoping that our neighbor will also elect to have his electrical dug, because he does have electrical line that goes over our building, which right now it's grandfathered in, but it is a safety concern, and they would not do it that way today. So that's 110. Additional expenses that are not included in the application that we may incur are electrical work done by Brady Lanham, and we expect this project to be about $13,000. We're asking for $5,400 for this one, which is less than the 60%. However, if there is remaining funds in this year's pool of money, we may come back and submit another application to help cover additional expenses. So then I'll go to 114. So the back of the building has an addition that the roof needs to be replaced. The person that replaced the roof last drilled metal roofing into the rubber roofing underneath, so it leaks, and so that needs to be replaced. The estimate for that is $14,000. Since we are doing the side facade of the building right next door, we've decided to also do the back facade of the building next to it, just to make it look nice. We're going to cover that with the same type of material and try to make it look cohesive. Additional expenses that are not included in the application is electrical work done by Brady Lanham, which we will cover separately, and then we expect this project to cost $18,000, and we're asking for $10,000, which is the max.
Any questions?
Exciting.
Yes.
All right, let's do the Scotts first. You are requesting.
So they are requesting, their total project for 141 East Main is $2,040, so they are eligible for $1,224 in reimbursement.
Any motion on that? It's been approved by Brandon?
Yeah. They've been approved by Brandon, and they have been approved by Historic Preservation as well, all 3 of these projects.
Okay.
Move to approve.
A motion and a second. Motion by Rick, second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, you guys got that one.
Thank you.
Now we'll go to PCs.
So 110 East Main we'll do first. That one is, the total project is $9,000, and they're requesting the $5,400.
Any motion on that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
The motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And then the final one would be 114 East Main, and that total project is over 16,000, so they're eligible for the maximum of 10,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, there you go.
And just so the council knows, if these all go through for those amounts, that still will leave 3,376 in funds that could go to projects if they reapply for additional costs or somebody else comes in with an application yet this year.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Approval of Historical Preservation CLG Annual Report.
Becky, are you on there? Do you hear that?
I am on here. I'm assuming you got a chance to read it. I didn't do a summary this year because the whole report is about the Pleasant Grove Heritage Park and about the Myers Farmstead Historic District, and we're all very familiar with it. We've talked about it forever and ever now. And if you've got any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But it's our annual report to the state office about what our group has been doing, working with the. I will point out that we did we had, let's see, Ann Opatz resigned in March of last year, and so with that we've had 4 people, and we've put in 490 volunteer hours this year, this past year.
Thank you.
Any motion for the approval of the annual report?
So moved.
A motion and second. All approved? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We actually come in on Tuesday sometime and practice that.
Resolution authorizing partial early redemption of sewer revenue bond series 2018A.
So we discussed this last year when doing our budget. We had 3 sewer bonds that time last year. We paid one off. So Brandon and I had budgeted this year then half of what was originally budgeted to possibly pay down these other 2 bonds. The sewer account is looking comfortable yet as of right now, and we've worked with our bond attorneys to get this paperwork going so that way we can make an additional payment of $37,000 towards principal only on this, and that will cut just over 3 years off of this loan. And if we can continue to do this, we'll have the loan paid in about 3 to 4 fiscal years, and that's about 10 years cutting off the loan. So, but we need approval from the council in order to ask for this redemption from the SRF.
Do you have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do you have a motion? Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Nate.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Rick.
Aye.
John.
Aye.
Kevin.
Let's see.
Aye.
Public hearing for changes to Chapter 92 water rates. Is motion to go in public hearing?
Motion to go into public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing. This is to raise water rates.
Yes. So for this one, we've got that. According to Brandon's update here, we budgeted $35,000 to put into the water line rehab fund for continual upgrades for replacing the 4-inch mains. By doing so, we will be budgeting to spend approximately $22,000 more than we are taking in. It is important that we continue to work to replace the old mains as they are required by the DNR, and they are the mains that continue to break and cause us problems. The language in our ordinance allows us for a 3% increase each year as long as the revenues are not higher than 25% of the expenditures. So we would not be in this case. If that happens, the council can by resolution choose not to increase the rates. So several communities have gone to this language. That's part of what we're changing in the ordinance as well, is to be able to do this by resolution. and doing business to go up, and you do not have to change the ordinance each time and when we raise the rates moving forward then.
Those any questions? Need a motion to go out of public hearing?
So moved.
Motion to a second. All in favor?
Aye.
First reading of ordinance 01/2025, update to chapter 92. Basically what Christina just said.
Yes, this would be raising the rates 3% for water. Correct.
Correct, and then we could, as long as we can also say not to raise it too.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying? Got a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Nate?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Rick? John?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Public hearing on changes to chapter 99 sewer rates. Motion to go into public hearing.
Motion to go into public hearing.
Do I have a second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And Christina on that.
Yes, and then, so this is, so fiscal year 26 sewer expenditures approximately will be $2,500 less than the currently budgeted revenues. The cost of doing business continues to rise, and we're still paying off sewer bonds. The language here is the same as the water, so it would allow us to do the 3% each year as long as the revenues do not exceed the expenditures by 25%. And again, then we'd be able to do that right by resolution versus having to go through public hearings and ordinance changes.
Any questions? Any motion to go to public hearing?
Motion to go out of public hearing.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
First reading of ordinance 02/2025 sewer rates.
Motion to approve the ordinance 02-2025.
Got a motion, and a second?
Second.
John?
Aye.
Rick? Mike?
Aye.
Nate?
Aye.
Kevin?
I heard it,
I heard it.
yeah.
Set public hearing for budget statement for March 24th at 6:30 p.m.
Okay, so this was that change last year where we have to have a budget statement hearing. That is that hearing that we go into it, we have to be open for 15 minutes, talk nothing city business, close it, and then we can go into our normal regular meeting at 7 p.m. then. So March 24th, I'll meet you guys here at 6:30 p.m.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
Motion to set the public hearing for March 24th at 6:30.
So moved.
Motion to have second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
With that, Brandon had attended he held it, 150th celebration meeting, and there's been discussions on including that with sauerkraut days, but making the celebration obviously bigger to celebrate the 150th. We are looking to budget $5,000 out of cable TV funds to support the extra events, since this is a community celebration and that is community funds. And I don't need a motion for it, I just need to know, is there any objections to doing that?
Was there any of that money previously prorated?
No, usually we budget $3,000, which we are. We'll still do $3,000 for sauerkraut fireworks. This would be an additional amount for making the event bigger this year for the 150th anniversary.
So they're gonna do the 150th at sauerkraut days?
They are, yes. It sounds like they are making possibly some additional days with events and bigger events.
So that, 3,000 that we did, it will actually just turn to 5 basically?
No, the 3 will turn to 8.
Okay. So that'll be in our final budget?
Correct, yep. I just need to know because I need to submit certain things for the budget this week, so we just want to make
You
sure.
just need November, is there a problem with it?
Yes.
Somebody got a problem with it?
No.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Correspondence.
I have none.
City engineer report.
Not much going on right now other than well 5 chemical heat building. Travis and I have been working on some details on that. Otherwise, things are pretty calm.
Okay. Was there anything for Dave? Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Parks and Rec.
I have his, give me a second, can't write this fast. He is at fire training tonight, so he is working on sponsors for the soccer portion of the sports complex, Easter planning, and work to prepare for spring soccer season.
Okay. Public Works.
The big update is, Brandon, myself, have been working with the library. They're trying to put new shelves in there. They were worried about the floor, the way it was sagging. We come up with putting additional support in there to verify that it's not going to sag anymore. We don't believe it's sagging. Basically, all this is to support the shelving in the first floor. Brandon had 2T Construction come give a bid on it. It was under his threshold, so he just approved it. We just want to let you know that we're going to be doing some more work in the basement over there, trying to make sure everything's ready for the new shelving that they want to put in.
That's it. You like that one on a turn there?
Didn't bother me.
I can't see it. All right, very good questions for Travis. Library,
None.
Police Department,
Nothing additional?
Ambulance,
None.
Fire Chief,
None.
City Administrator,
None.
Christina.
Well, that's a
Just working on the budget, because we have to get it in for the budget statements here to the county this week. And then Brandon's obviously out of the office this week. I will be out of the office for 2 days next week attending Local Leaders Day, which any council and mayor are welcome to attend at the state capitol.
It feels like it's bounced out.
Now, I was in Des Moines, so I will be at Local Leaders Day next week. That's it.
Be a little warmer.
Yeah.
Good questions for Christina. Council, Nate,
I don't have anything tonight.
Mike,
Nothing.
Rick.
Did we ask for additional comments on this?
Anything?
As item 4,
Huh?
public input.
Okay.
Rick,
Just want to wish, say congratulations to all the wrestlers that went to the state and the whole wrestling team this year. Sounds like they did an outstanding job. Also, glad to see younger folks come to the council meetings. So thank you guys for coming.
what are you guys here for?
Why'd they make you come?
We go to class at Iowa, and we're in a journalism and communications majors.
They're covering the meeting tonight. I'm just running the camera. So.
Ah.
Yeah.
So May to meet you come.
So this will be your first council meeting ever? Different than what you anticipated, or?
I expected there to be a lot more yelling based on what I've seen.
That's after you
So-
leave. Then we yell.
And I just want to ask Travis, did we budget a thing for you for that tractor?
We did. We spent some of that money on that pickup that we bought. So we're hoping we can save money to get me to June, and we'll just get it bought.
So we put it in the budget so you get that one?
We do believe, yeah, Brandon and I talked, if we can't get it bought this year, we'll get it bought next year.
Okay.
Push it.
The push, yeah.
That's all.
John?
Okay, I have several things.
Okay.
We did a ribbon cutting for Star Yoga at 117 East Main. And they're going to have yoga and a number of other things. And one partner has advanced degrees in psychology and dance. So she's the only one in Iowa doing this particular type of therapy, I think, of dance therapy that works well for nonverbal young people. And they'll have a open house this Saturday, 11 to 2. Also,
Where's that going to be held?
at 117 East Main, where the old Louis tile was.
Title, please, right?
Yeah. there's been some legislation proposed at the state level concerning libraries. One is, there is now a law that says if somebody objects to something in the library that's sexual in regards to young people, they can't sue us. Well, they're thinking of taking that away to let people sue us if they see something filthy. I don't know what else I can say about that. Also the shelving, which is going to be quite a project. It will be adjustable. It's going to be expensive, but the good thing is it's going to be paid for by the library's monies from donations. Also, the Lisbon Historic Preservation is missing one person, and there's another person that's planning on moving in the spring, so there'll be 2 openings there. So if anybody's interested, turn in your application at City Hall. That's all I have.
Okay. I don't have much. I just want to say thank you to the city crew for the last snowfall we got. The streets are phenomenal. You guys did a great job on that. Thank you very much. And that's it. So maybe.
Thank you for
Kevin. Kevin, you got anything?
Nothing.
All right, that's what I thought. Meeting adjourned.